Good morning, everyone. Yesterday, in page ranking, semantic search, depth first search, we talked about. Today, we shall see breadth first search. This is another strategy for searching. Here, you search layer by layer. First, you try to do all the zero-step proof. Then, you try to do all of the one-step proof, and so on. The advantage of breadth first search is that you are guaranteed to get the simplest proof before you get anything that is strictly more complicated. This is reflected to an Occam's razor's benefit. If there is an n-step proof, you'll find it before you look at any n plus one step proofs. The disadvantage of breadth first search becomes apparent when you encounter huge trees. We also have huge busy trees, bushy trees, where you could have thousands or tens of thousands of child nodes. Another disadvantage of breadth first search is the amount of space you have to use to store what you have not examined as yet. So, if the third layer is explosively large, you would have to store all of the third level results before you could even look at them. With a breadth first search, the deeper you go into the tree, the more space you'll need. So you find that each of the two traditional algorithms for search, depth first and breadth first, are going to run into problems with large systems. There are two basic classes of algorithm used to attempt to overcome the completeness and halting limitation: uninformed and informed. Uniformed or blind searches are those that have no information about the number of steps or the path caused from the current state to the goal. These searches include depth first search, breadth first, uniform cost, deep depth limiting, and iterative deepening search. Informed or heuristic searches are those that have information about the goal. The information is usually either as an estimated path cost to it or estimated number of steps away from it. This information is known as the search agent heuristic. It allows informed searchers to perform better than the blind searchers and make them behave in an almost rational manner. These searches include best first, hill climbing searches. These methods can provide significant improvement in searching. Web search agents. While web search engines are powerful and important to the future of the web, there, it, there is another form of search that is also critical, that is web search agents. A web search agent will not perform like a commercial search engine. Search engines use database lookups from a knowledge base. In the case of web search agent, the web itself is searched and the computer provides the interface with the user. The agent percepts are documents connected through the web utilizing HTTP. The agent's actions are to determine if its goal of seeking a website containing a specified target has been met, and if not, find other locations to visit. It acts on the environment using output methods to update the user on the status of the search or the end results. What makes the agent intelligent is its ability to make a rational decision which gives a choice. In other words, given a goal, it will make decisions to follow the course of action and would lead it to that goal in a timely manner. An agent can usually generate all of the possible outcomes of an event, but then it will need to search through those outcomes to find the desired goal and execute the path, starting at the initial or current state to get to the desired goal state. In the case of intelligent web search agent, it will need to utilize a search to navigate through the web to reach its goal. Building an intelligent web agent requires mechanism for multiple and combinatorial keyword searches, exclusion handling, and the ability to self-seed when it exhausts a first search space. Given a target, the web search agent should proceed to look for it through as many paths as necessary. This agent will be keyword based. The method advocated is to start from a seed location and find all other locations linked in a tree fashion to the route that contains the target. The search agent needs to know the target, where to start, how many iterations to the target to find, how long to look, and what method should determine criteria for choosing path. These issues are addressed in the software. Implementation requires some knowledge of general programming, working with sockets, the HTTP, HTML, sorting, and searches. There are many languages with web-based utilities, advanced application programming interfaces, and superior text parsing capabilities that can be used to write a web search agent. Using a more advanced, efficient sorting algorithm will help improve the performance of the web search agent. The web search agent design consists of four main phases: initialization, perception, action, and effect. In the initialization phase, the web search agent should set up all variables, structures, and arrays. It should also get the base information. It will need to conduct the hunt for the target, the goal, a place to start, and the method of searching. The perception phase is centered on using the knowledge provided to contact a site and retrieve the information from the location. It should identify if the target is present and should identify paths to other URL locations. The action phase takes all of the information that the system knows and determine if the goal has been met. If the hunt is still active, it must make the decision on where to go next. This is the intelligence of the agent, and the method of search dictates how smart the web agent will be. If a match is found, the hunt is complete and it provides output to the user. The web search agent moves from the initial phase to a loop consisting of perception, action, and effect phases until the goal is achieved or cannot be achieved. Semantic search methods augment, improve traditional search results by using not just words but meaningful concepts. Several major companies are seriously addressing the issue of semantic search. There are two approaches to improve search results through semantic methods: LSI and semantic web documents. LSI is nothing but latent semantic index search. So far, we have reviewed search technology in general and identified today's search limitations. Now, future technologies based upon the semantic will be explored. First, we will discuss implementing LSI, which may improve today's search capabilities without the extreme limitations of searching large semantic networks. Building on the criteria of precision, ranking, and recall requires more than brute force. Assigning descriptors and classifiers to a text provides an improvement advantage. By returning relevant documents that do not necessarily contain a verbatim match to our search query, fully described datasets can also provide an image of the scope and distribution of the document collections as a whole. This can be accomplished by examining the structure of categories and subcategories called taxonomy. A serious drawback to this approach to categorizing data is the problem inherent in any kind of taxonomy. The word sometimes resists categorization. For example, is a tomato a fruit or vegetable? What happens when we combine two document collections indexed in different ways? Solutions are called ontology taxonomies. Regular keyword search approach a document collection where either a document contains a given word or it does not. Latent semantic indexing adds an important step to the document indexing process. In addition to recording which keywords a document contains, the method examines the document collection as a whole to see which other document contains some of those same words. Latent semantic indexing was first developed at Bellcore in the late 1980s and considers documents that have many words in common to be semantically close and ones with few words in a common to be semantically distinct. Although LSI algorithm does not understand anything about what the word means, it notices the pattern. When you search in LSI index database, the search engine looks at similarity values it has calculated for every content words and returns the document that it thinks best fit the query. Because two documents may semantically very close even if they do not share a particular keyword. LSI does not require an exact match to return useful results. Where a plain keyword search will fail if there is no exact match. LSI will often return relevant documents that do not contain the keyword at all. When searching for content, a semantic search engine is a remarkably useful solution. It can discover if two documents are similar even if they do not have any specific words in common. And it can reject documents that share only uninteresting words in common. Latent semantic indexing looks at patterns of words within a set of documents. Natural language is full of redundancies, and not every word that appears in a document carries semantic meaning. Frequently used words in English often do not carry content. Example includes functional words, conjunctions, prepositions, and auxiliary verbs. The first step in doing LSI, therefore, is culling these extraneous words from the document. This is called stemming. Some of the preparatory work needed to get stemming, but some of the preparatory work needed to get documents ready for indexing is very language specific. For English documents, an algorithm called the Porter stemmer is used to remove common endings from words, leaving behind an invariant root form. To obtain semantic content from a document, first make a complete list of all the words that appear in the collection and then stem them for them as follows. Discard articles, prepositions, and conjunctions. Discard common verbs like no, see, to be. Discard pronouns. Discard common adjectives. Discard frilly words like therefore, thus, however, etc. Discard any words that appear in every document and discard any words that appear in only one document. After stemming is complete, the results are modified according to algorithm insights. The first of these insights applies to individual documents and it is referred to as local weighting. Words that appear multiple times in a document are given a greater local weight than words that appear once. In broad strokes, we present an algorithm that forms a web of documents and words connecting all documents to all words. Given such a model of words and documents, one can then establish values based on the distance of documents from each other. The value of any document to any other document might be designed as a function of the number of connections that must be traversed to establish a connection between documents. If two documents are connected by multiple routes, then those documents might have a degree of correlation. The term weighing, the formalization of two common sense insights. Content words that appear several times in a document are probably more meaningful than content words that appear just once. And infrequently used words are likely to be more interesting than common words. The implementation algorithm works as follows. For each document, stem all the words and throw away any common noise words. For each of the remaining words, visit and remember each document that has a direct relationship to this word. Score each document based on a distance function from the original document and the relative scarcity of the word in common. For each of the as of it unvisited new related document now being tracked, recursively perform the same operation as above. The particular weighing algorithm that was used in this for each increase in distance, divide a baseline score by 2. The score of each document is equal to the baseline divided by the square root of the popularity of the word. Overall, this algorithm delivers a cheap semantic lookup based on walking through a document and creating a word graph. The specification shown here is the simplest case and it could be improved in a variety of ways. There are many other scoring algorithms that could be used additionally A thesaurus could be applied to help bridge semantic issues. One interesting challenge would be to make the algorithm work on the fly so that as new documents were added, they would self-score. Another challenge would be to find a way to distribute the algorithm over multiple machines for scalability. The word stemming process gets rid of common words such as the, etc. This feeds input into the semantic algorithm that first stems the words appropriately, scores them accordingly to the semantic algorithm, and sorts the results into the new rank order reflecting the semantic analysis. Uh, so next, is some semantic search um, tools, technology tools. These there are tools like Tab, Sobel, and all. We shall see about these tools in the next class. Today I will stop here. Okay, all of you mark your attendance. I will stop the class here. Mark your attendance. We shall continue in the next class. Thank you.